Well, it's literally just after Christmas. In fact, it was Boxing Day yesterday, and thankfully I've got a bit of a weather window where I can get out on the kayak again and hopefully catch some fish. I always like to get out this time of year. One thing I love about this time of year is that I've got the time in the Christmas holiday period to do a bit of fishing, but the problem is, of course, you just need the weather. But I've got it today. So I've just dropped the anchor and I'm going to fish the whole of the tide. At the moment I'm on the ebb tide. I'm going to fish about 3 hours of the ebb tide and then fish about 3 hours of the flood tide to dusk. So I'm going to mix it up today. I'm on a bit of a mixed species trip. I'm going to fish one rod down on the bottom with bait and see what I can pick up. I'm really hopeful that I can pick up a codling or maybe some decent sized whiting, which I managed to do on the last trip. And then I've got sabikis with me, see if I can pick up some herring or some mackerel, which will be very welcome, and also some squid jigs. So basically something that I often do is fish mixed methods to try and maximise my chance of catching fish. Alright, so what we'll do, we'll look at the bait rod first, and so I'm just gonna fish the one rod. So I've just got a straightforward running ledger, but I've got some great bait with me today. I've got some peeler crab, so I'm going to fish a cocktail of peeler crab and squid. At the moment on this one I've got a peeler crab on and the head of a calamari squid, but I also maybe mix up and fish some squid strips as well. So fantastic bait, so fingers crossed that will tempt something. And then, as usual, string of sabikis for the mackerel and the herring, and I know there's plenty of something around because the gannets are diving to my right here, and I can see big patches on the fish finder. I think that might be either herring or it could be pilchards, but hopefully there's a few mackerel with them as well. And then on the other rod, even though it's the end of December, there's still a chance of catching squid, so got some squid jigs as well. Alright, so that's basically it. Play it by ear and basically just see what I can catch.
On this trip I needed to focus on the catching of the fish, so from now on most of the session is narrated. I'm just getting the rods down here, the bait rod on the right fishing hard on the bottom, and the squid rod on the left with the jigs just off the bottom fishing themselves with the up and down movement of the kayak and the current. The position of these rods will change later depending on my position with the tide. Notice on the fish finder there's a large red patch down the bottom of the finder. This is not the bottom but a dense shoal of bait fish, so dense that the finder thinks it's the bottom. I'm working the sabikis in amongst the shoal. When you're fishing for herring, it's just a gentle movement of the sabikis. You can feel the herring knocking the lures, and you need to give them time to take the lure into their small mouths. Okay, the first herring coming in here, followed by mackerel and some more herring, and I'll let that play live. What's coming in now, as far as I'm concerned, is a real treat, a squid. I started feeling pulls on the sabikis without hooking anything, and that's a sure sign of squid, shortly followed by this take on the squid jigs. Notice the anchor is now at the bow. This is due to a wind over tide situation coming in but opposite directions, with the wind being stronger. Therefore, it's easier to fish with the anchor at the bow so that the lines are running away from me with the tide. It's really great to catch a squid, and it was shortly followed by another. It's not mackerel or herring coming in here on the sabikis, but a codling caught mid-water. Cod mainly feed close to the bottom. However, when there's plenty of bait fish in the water column, such as sprats, pilchards or herring, they will come well off the bottom to feed on them. When this happens, it can be hard to catch them with bait hard on the bottom. Although over the legal landing size limit in Cornwall of 35 centimetres, this small codling was returned. After catching those mackerel, I'm in here to what I thought was a very big squid, but it turned out to be much better than that. I thought it was one good one, and it's three. I am, yeah.
We love your videos, mate.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, thank you very much.
We appreciate you making them because
Thank
I normally kayak.
you do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anywhere. So we love your videos. We really do, mate.
Thank.
Keep them going, I tell you.
Thank. Thank you very much. Well, there you go.
Always supposed to be cold, isn't it? Nice squid.
I've actually got the cameras on now. I'm not talking much today because I just wanted to get out and do some fishing, you know.
Nice to get out after Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah, but
Air everything up a bit.
but I might get a video out of today, but if
Always here. My God, there was some white in here.
yeah.
We had that much white in. It's going on 3/4 filter dusting bag of huge white in, some beautiful white in. We had some nice meals last week with them. Battered up, they were lovely.
Yeah, this time of year, around about November, you get some really good, as you know, good whiting.
So close to the shore,
Yeah,
isn't it, really?
yeah.
You know?
Right, sort this lot out. Yeah, you.
Say hello. We watch your videos, mate.
Oh, thank you very much. Cheers, thank you.
That's right. Before we say hello, we've been anchored out there.
Yeah, I've seen you out there all day. Yeah. Any?
Good.
Yeah, I've had a pretty good day. I've had mackerel, herring. I've had about half a dozen squid
You are really?
and a codling, small codling.
Oh, well done.
We've had a couple of nice raids,
Oh, well, good,
so yeah, loads of plenty of mackerel, us, the doggies.
good. It's interesting that because I've been fishing this bait rod all day on the bottom, and I've had nothing.
No,
I had the cod.
they'll come now. The tide's turned.
Yeah, I had the codling on the lures.
Yeah, and you had the codling on the lures.
Yeah,
Oh, that's good.
yeah.
Didn't have the touch to make there.
But yeah, I'm pleased with the squid. I had, I think I've just got that rod working itself with the squid jigs on,
Yeah.
and I had 3 in one go.
Did you honestly?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. We had a couple bringing in the bait from the raid a couple of times.
you feel them,
We had something there, but we didn't have any squid jigs on.
right?
But we had some lovely mackerel.
Yeah, good.
I always find the raid better hit around here.
Yes,
You fish at 40, 50 foot of water.
yes,
Anything a bit deeper, they sort of be up the side of the bank.
yeah, yeah,
They come straight away over there, but then they just died again, like you know.
yeah, yeah.
We struggled with mackerel until we put the anchor in, and then on anchor we were pulling away them, like you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's masses of herring in the water.
Herring and anchovies,
Yeah,
loads of anchovies.
absolutely masses. I mean, you see the gannets diving over there.
Everywhere.
Around you.
Yeah, it's good to see though, isn't it?
Yeah, fantastic.
Well, the tide's on the turn now anyways.
Yeah, yeah. I'm going to give it another couple of hours, and
Yeah, we're making our way back now.
Yeah.
So.
Well, good luck, didn't you? It's nice to see you.
yeah, and you. Yeah, nice to talk to you. All the best. Cheers.
See you now.
Cheers.
Apart from a few pin whiting, The bait rod on the bottom had been very quiet. I changed the bait to just fishing with squid, and at last something reasonable took the bait, a decent whiting. The bait rod was working now, and this felt like either a small thornback ray or a bull huss, and it turned out to be a bull huss. I do occasionally take and eat dogfish, the smaller cousin of the bull huss, but return the bigger bull huss. So that was it, a great way to spend a day during the Christmas holiday period, and a special thank you to those anglers that I had a chat with. Home now to sort out the catch. Well, there's the catch, or at least the catch that I've taken home for the dinner table. So really grateful to be able to get out yesterday, and it turned out to be a really successful day. Now these were, when I got back, were given a good wash. They've obviously been cleaned at sea and given a good wash when I got home, and popped in the fridge overnight till this morning, where I've got more time to sort them all out. So we've got a nice plate of herring there. There's 8 herring to enjoy. I did catch a lot more herring, but they were too small, so they went back. Not sure what I'm going to do with those, but as far as I'm concerned, it's always good when there's a few herring around. Basically, because if you like eating them, basically because it makes a bit of a change. And then one of my favourites to eat, and always great to be able to catch them, is the mackerel, the really fresh mackerel. Some of which will be kept fresh and eaten over the next few days. I might smoke a couple in the shed, but any leftovers will be frozen down to be eaten another day. Absolutely fantastic. And isn't it great how fresh mackerel look? I've been in, I'm not going to mention the name of a certain supermarket and seen mackerel on the slab, and all the bellies brown and the eyes sunken, and they're selling them as fresh mackerel. It's enough to put some people off mackerel for life. But look how fantastic these look. Then I've got a nice whiting. I did catch a few more whiting, much smaller whiting, little pin whiting, but they went back. But that was the only decent, good sized whiting that I caught on the day. So that was good. But the prize, as far as I'm concerned, is mainly because I love to eat them so much. Are these 5 really good sized squid. There is a lot of meals to be had there once I sort them out. Now the value, I dread to think what the value of all these fish would be if you went to and brought them retail from the supermarket or a fishmonger's. I know it would be high. I know these 5. If I bought these 5 whole squid this size, that would cost me a fair amount of money. So it's one of the reasons why I do it. You get out on line fishing, you like eating fish, you catch your own, you know when it's caught, you've dealt with it yourself, you know how fresh it is. If you freeze it, you know exactly how fresh it was when it was frozen, and it's definitely worth it. And this type of fishing, this mixed method fishing for multi-species using different methods, bait and lures, as you can see, although it's hard work, as you can see, it can be highly productive. So once again, I hope you found that useful, and many thanks for watching.